Hello, carnivore friends. Hey, how are you today? I am doing great because today's Friday, the 1st of August. I have hit the 12-day mark of Lion Diet and I am calling it a day. I have done this for 11 days, but absolutely strict. Like, I do make a food for other people, and I didn't even lick like the spoon, which I always used to do. So no cake, no cheats, nothing. But it's been I've really learned a lot. So what I've learned is that I was hungry all the time. And when I did eat meat and butter, I was really full very quickly. So I didn't eat a lot. I assume I have been under eating about probably around 300 to 400 grams of meat a day. I try to eat as much butter as I could, but I'm not a butter muncher. So it makes me nausea and then I stop eating. So anyway, I just measured myself. I lost an inch around my waist, which is like the stubborn fat, the belly fat. I don't know if it will ever go away, but at least it shrunk a little bit, which is a good sign because maybe I did lose some visceral fat, the fat around the organs. I don't know what's in there. I mean, yes. So I'm happy about that. It's kind of what I expected it would be. So at least it's not nothing that would have driven me crazy. So I feel like cutting out the cheese and the dairy was something I was really addicted to. So I'm not sure I'm going to introduce that back like in the big quantities as I used to eat it. I used to eat it every night, a big bowl and a big chunk of raw cheese, which is delicious. But I am sensitive for overeating, especially when I eat it in front of the TV. So I'm going to look, I made a breakthrough on that, I feel, but it's still something I really like doing. It's something that kind of sedates myself. Is that the right word? I don't know. I do feel very clear-headed, but I've been kind of under the weather, a little sick, 9 days from the 11 days that I did carnivore, and it's still the side effects of the anesthesia, which have just the symptoms pop up in my body. So mostly muscle cramps, even though I didn't work out. Yesterday I had it in my neck pain again. It's weird. I don't know where it comes from, but I hope it gradually goes away and that me being on the Lion Diet really starved. I didn't eat any carbs, so no inflammation. My acne went away. I had it in a couple places and now it starts to heal. So that's really nice. I like that. My skin feels really soft. I feel very happy. So even during when I was under the weather, mentally I was still very happy, and it was very frustrating because just climbing up the stairs, I would be exhausted and I really wanted to do a lot. But since yesterday, I've been feeling great again, and I hope it doesn't come back. So yeah, what else? I don't know. Lion is extremely boring. It's the bacon, the eggs, the chicken, the cheese, the dairy. It makes carnivore so much doable. So this weekend I'm going back to carnivore, and we are going away for the weekend. We're going to visit my mom, and we are going back to my hometown, which is about 1.5 hour drive. We have some nice podcasts picked out. Actually, we're listening to podcasts about addiction. So it's this guy who used to be addicted to alcohol, and he's interviewing all these famous Dutch people. It's in Dutch, and it's very entertaining. Because the insights and the conversations me and my boyfriend have is very, very interesting. And more we're starting to realize the parallel and the connection with carb addiction and why is it any different. So that's kind of confronting because I do this for 11 days, 12 days, and then I go back to eating carbs. So my boyfriend made this analogy which really struck me. Okay, he says like it's like you're an alcoholic and you're sober for a month, and the first thing you do to celebrate that you're sober for a month is to take a shot of whiskey. It doesn't make sense, right? So basically that's what I've been doing, but I haven't decided yet that I am I know I'm a carb addict, but I'm not sure I really want to quit. So yeah, do I want a life without carbs forever? I don't think that's even possible on a carnivore, because if you're eating dairy and if you're eating cheese, there's always some carbs, and every time you eat, you have a little insulin spike, and it's okay, your blood sugar spikes a little bit, and you do always make a little bit insulin, but not as extreme. So yeah, what I do know, if I do introduce fruit back, I will have cravings for that. And everything like dairy and fruit will always cause me to have a weight stall or maybe even gain a little bit, but not too much. So at this point, I'm not afraid that things will be like they used to be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years ago, that I would have absolutely no control over what I was doing. I had no idea what micronutrients were. I had no idea what fat exactly was and how good it is for you. I had no idea what protein was or in what a carb was. And I don't think a lot of people knew, and I don't think a lot of people know right now. I've really made that distinction. I know exactly what I'm eating. I've been listening to YouTubers and carnivores and watching videos and podcasts, and I've been doing that for, today is exactly 1 year and 10 months. Yay, since I started. So that's absolutely great. So yeah, I'm celebrating, but celebration is so connected to carbs. So how do you celebrate? It's a whole new world. I celebrate by taking a sparkling water and just hugging and having a great, nice walk with the dog and something like that. So I'm celebrating. It's a whole new world where you step in when you go carnivore. How do you celebrate? It's all about food, and I know that, and it's all right. So yeah, the last thing I'm going to say, or else video would be really long. What I did notice, and maybe it's because I'm around carbs all the time, but the cravings don't really go away. It's getting a little better. It's less, but I don't know. Just the thought of never eating carbs again, really, I can't handle that. But during the 11 days, I've been struggling with cravings a lot. And that's why I'm so proud of me. I didn't cave in. There was a lot of moments that I realized that, I've shared this with my boyfriend. We live together. I didn't promise him anything, but I just said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to stick by it. And I'm just so stubborn and proud. And I'm like a woman of my word, So I'm just too stubborn to cheat. But I knew there was so many moments during the week or during the 11 days that I knew, like, okay, at this point, if I were alone right now and nobody would be watching me, I would go to the store and have a binge on apple pie and chocolate, and I would be feeling so sick afterwards, but I don't care. So I realized that. So for me, it's also like eating and binging is also something I really want to do alone. I've conditioned myself that way since I was around 10 or 11, because I used to lock myself in my room with a big bag of candy or potato chips or some breads, even with butter and chocolate sprinkles, something like that. And I would read my book. So I'm a big Stephen King fan. And I used to go to the library, and then I would buy the candy, and that would be a whole ritual. And I would lock myself in my room. And that also had to do with the situation at home, because it was kind of chaotic. I was the youngest, and there was a lot of fights going on. And that was a way for me to just escape into this fantasy world. And I still like doing that. That's why I love movies and series. That was, reading. And it's sort of the same, Reading, you have to be a little bit active, but I would immerse in the story, and it would be so. And I would eat while I was reading. And if I would stop reading, I would stop eating, and I would realize how nauseous I was, and I would then continue reading. But that was also the point in my life where I really gained too much weight. Also going on a holiday to my American dad, because I grew up in Holland with my mom, and going there to California every year and staying there for a month, my dad would let me have anything I want, which is really sweet. And I was a sweet girl, but I really liked ice cream. And I wasn't used to that. My mom was vegetarian. We didn't have any candy in the house. It was just like, well, I would buy some at some point, but we weren't allowed to do that. In my dad's house, we were allowed to just grab ice cream. And I would have not a little bit of ice cream, but I would have 2 bowls. And then I would sit in front of the TV, great American TV, very entertaining. And yeah, we would go to Disneyland and Magic Mountain and all the theme parks, and just go out. And we would go out to dinner every day. And it was always like hamburgers and sodas and fries and ice cream. And yeah, I would probably gain about, I don't know, 5 or 6 pounds at least. And then I would come back, and my mom would be like so mad that I gained weight, and it was very frustrating. So I was always a little conflicted. Like I didn't know how to lose at some point. At 15, I developed bulimia because of that, because I had no idea how to lose weight, but I really wanted to. And then you discover that when you purge that, it's a very easy and quick way to lose weight, but it's very unhealthy. And basically, the point is that I was always deprived of energy. When you live a vegetarian lifestyle, we didn't eat a lot of eggs, maybe some, and not too much cheese. We had cheese always, but it was expensive. We had a family of 4, so you don't munch on cheese like I do now. And some yogurt. So we had the basic things, but the cooking with sunflower oil every day. My mom really tried. She made home cooked meals every day, but she just, it was the brown rice, a lot of vegetables, everything whole foods, grains, and it just I was always bloated. And we ate a lot of fruit, and that just, I don't know, like looking back, I think she thought it was the healthiest diet you can ever have. But me and my siblings, we were like covered in acne, And it was just really sad because that's like your whole childhood. I was also a little overweight, and it's just, you look at the kids around you in school and then you always compare yourself. You're like, why? You don't understand. But I kind of blame it on the vegetarian diet. Anyway, so I was lying for 11 to 12 days. I'm so proud of myself. I wish you an amazing weekend. I'm going to celebrate by just going carnivore and maybe have a little treat, but just we've already talked about it. Like, we're not going to drink. Not that I'm a big drinker, but sometimes, the temptations, you have to be ahead of them. So definitely no drinks, no big bags of M&Ms or whatever. Just maybe a little treat on the farmer's market, something like that. Or something nice for dinner when I have fish or meats. All right. Sorry for the long rambling. I love you guys. I wish you a great weekend. Bye-bye. Be safe. Bye.